Hello. It is Friday or Saturday, March 21st, 2026, and today is the 32nd day of Lent. Um, Today was a day. Start off with got up around 7:30, I think, and got meditating by 7:45 and meditated for an hour. Was a good sit in session. Dropped in pretty quickly, stayed in it, and then Monica and I went to uh, the Equinox Soiree Parlor. I don't forget what the exact name was, but Truson, our mutual friend, has been doing these parlor events where he invites anybody who wants to come over to his house, and there's a salon where there's a soapbox and you can ring a bell, and you have 3.5 minutes to stand on the box. Everybody has to be quiet and pay attention, and perform any sort of art that you would like to. That's the stipulation, is you can do whatever you want, but it has to be an artistic expression. And this evolved from just some living room sessions into sometimes an occasional special event. And this morning was the first one that he did at Boston Avenue United Methodist Church, which is gorgeous. And it was a three-parter where part one was an hour. Well, actually four-part, because part one was a just kind of coffee breakfast time with a amazing kind of charcuterie board, coffee and stuff. And then an hour of the salon, where anybody who wants to can step up on the box. There was a lot of people there and a lot of people who wanted to perform. And so it was like one after another. People were like, they were antsy to, get to perform. I came prepared to give a performance because Drusen asked me to come prepared. He always asks a few people to have something prepared, and to kind of, because normally there's some dead space, and so the people who are prepared will fill that space. But today there were so many people there and so many people that wanted to perform that I didn't do my performance. At the very last moment, I went up, I scooted myself to the front so that if the opportunity, because he told me I would have a longer time, but there were so many people there. He said it's just going to have to be 3 minutes. And so I had 6 minutes prepared, but I figured out how to do a 3-minute version that would end strong. And so I was going to do it, but I went up to the front, and as I did, Truson, it was time up. It was time to move on to the next part, which the next part was Ramsey Thornton and Michaela Young doing individually doing a acoustic set of probably 7 songs apiece, and yeah, both great. Michaela Young is gorgeous, so talented. The way she expresses herself is so beautiful, and her voice and writing is, yeah, so good. Definitely have a crush on that one. And then after those performances, we moved into the sanctuary, and their sanctuary is absolutely gorgeous. The room is an instrument. It is a organ, giant, beautiful organ. And we got an organ sound bath, and I got into a deep meditative state during that, and just all these beautiful drones and little sounds and bells. Yeah, that was absolutely awesome. And then as I'm walking out, a guy said, "Hey, are you Cody Jensen?" And I said, "Yes." And he said that he works at um, uh, Boston Avenue, and basically he does somewhat what I do at City Church, and he wants to meet and get together. So that was an awesome connection that I'm excited to get together and see how we can collaborate in any way. Um, and as I was reflecting on just kind of the morning and all that it was, it's cool, that we had these three acts of art. The first act being an open mic, and the people who participate in the open mic, they 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 are blessed by it. They are blessed by the opportunity to be listened to, and they are expanded in their internal world by taking the brave step of getting up on the box and standing in front of 100 whatever people, and sharing for 3 minutes whatever it is that they have to share. And so it's like it is an experimental space, both socially and artistically, and it allows people the opportunity to step forward in their expressiveness. And that is another reason that I didn't perform, because I would have loved to share what I was going to share, which I think I will record it for this. I would love to share what I was going to share in that environment to those people, because just a gorgeous environment. There was a giant mosaic of the holy elements and the cross behind the stage, and yeah, would have been. I would have loved to have done that, but I didn't need it for me. I felt it more important to leave that space open for the people that I could tell were like, that they really, it would bless them more than it would bless me. And so totally happy that space was given to them. And then the next act was the two performance, concert performance pieces of these trained and practiced artists showcasing their collection of works, things that they have now installed in their central nervous system and are able to express it freely and practiced, versus Act 1 is a lot of people's central nervous systems were disrupted, and it was a brave and scary step for them to do it, versus Act 2, it is a calm, rehearsed, and practiced space for us to be blessed by the work of the artistic performance. Then Act 3 was a larger expansion of that, where it's a mystical, communal, expression of generational beauty, that the architecture we're sitting in, the people who built it are no longer alive, and the building is the instrument, and the person playing is an artist and technician, and such a unique talent to play such a large and complicated instrument. And then we all are sitting in this collective frequency as it resonates through the building and into our own bones, to where I am getting goosebumps and full body vibrations that are just evidence of beauty, evidence of the divine, and exactly what the generations of people that led to it being built by the generation of people before me for me to sit there and experience this. And so I just love those 3 acts that we went through of further and further expansion into a universal resonant space. Also, the pastor of Boston Avenue, right before the sound bath began, he read a lament that he wrote, and just like apologizing for the way the church has failed generation after generation, and in this generation, and apologized for the ways in which he had participated in those smaller stories than the story of love. And I thought that was also very beautiful. And I think that like what Truson has built and has done, like seeing like that event is exactly the vision and dream that I had in 2020 of Poets and Saints Philosophy Club. That's what Poets and Saints Philosophy Club essentially could have been. And like the Martha Graham quote that Truson often quotes, it's that you have this thing that the universe is asking you to do, and if you don't do it, it will move on and ask somebody else to do it. And I'm not saying that's what happened in this case, that I didn't do it, and so then it moved on to Truson, because I think Truson and I were being asked to do these things on parallel journeys. And so, but just seeing it in that space, just so gorgeous, and exactly where it needed to happen for this artist community to arrive and be in a holy, reverent, gorgeous space, and to really feel that. Boston Avenue was the venue for that. I like no notes on that. It is perfect. And so thankful for the person that Truson is, and the way he expresses himself, and the way that he galvanizes, and the way that he was able to create this space for those people to stand up on that box and expand themselves, and showcase the further expansion, and then showcase the expansiveness of which changed him. And I think that was just beautiful. And then, I mean, it's just like, the Poets and Saints Philosophy Club, a very parallel, like desire to gather, encourage, and disciple vocational artists. That's the language that I received. That in my journey, that's one thing that I feel called to, is to gather, disciple, and encourage vocational artists. And I envision this within Poets and Saints Philosophy Club. And I did host about a year of these, of bringing people in and showcasing a talent, a practice, and a teaching from me. So a talent as in a musical performance, etc. A practice, a sound bath, a meditation, a dance, and then a reflection from me, and then open discussion, and it's different but parallel to what the journey that Truson is on. And just seeing the expression at Boston Avenue was just like, just so awesome. And also seeing that, like, I would love to do, like, if Poets and Saints Philosophy Club, if I was capable of maintaining and galvanizing a community and group of people for that to grow to where then when I'm hosting it at City Church, even at that, it doesn't become what Boston Avenue is, because that our the architecture, the context for the architecture for our context is exactly what it is and should be, is in the same way that Boston Avenue is, but it it wouldn't speak to the community that was there today in the same way. Like, City Church would not communicate the awe-inspiring beauty like Boston Avenue. It's just the truth of it. And City Church has its time and its place and its flock. And I do think there's some room for overlap, for collaboration, a Venn diagram intersection, absolutely. But just these things were playing in my mind, just because Truce and I are similar and have similar expressions. And yeah, I was just thinking about this event in the context that I'm at, and the championing his journey, and also how can we work together, and also how can I be inspired to allow more people that would not soiree but would show and tell, just like, yeah. So it was great, inspiring, and gave me lots of thoughts, and I was so glad to be there. And yeah, and then very glad to have met the guy at his name is Keith Bethel or Bethel, because it's two L's, probably Bethel. And yeah, there's no telling fruit of a collaboration could be, because like I want to collaborate with as many churches as I can, and I've never had a connection to like the Methodist denomination, because we're just so far. That's just not the overlap that we have, and so that is exciting. So yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Just to make sure that I have enough time for it, I'll share what I was going to share from the soapbox, which is an excerpt from Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass, which I have a full on 25-minute performance, and I was going to do 2 excerpts from it together. It was around 6 minutes, and then ultimately I was going to, because Tristan, the event became where the 6-minute option was no longer an option, and I had to figure out how to do a 3-minute. So I'm going to do the full 6-minute, but I will, whenever the 3-minute version would have ended, I'm going to point at you. So I would have gone up and started with, have you ever practiced so long to learn to read? Have you ever felt so proud to get at the meaning of poems? Well, stop this day and night with me, and you shall possess the origin of all poems. You shall possess the good of earth and sun, and there are millions of suns left. And no longer shall you take things from second or third hand, nor look through the eyes of the dead, nor feed from the specters and books. and you shall not look through my eyes either, or take things from me. But you shall listen to all sides and filter them from yourself. Because I have heard what the talkers were talking, the talk of the beginning and the end. But I do not talk of the beginning or the end. There has never been any more inception than there is now, nor any more youth or age than there is now. And there has never been any more perfection than there is now, nor any more heaven or hell than there is now. Urge and urge and urge, always the procreant urge of the world. Out of dimness, opposite equals advance. Always substance and increase. Always of knit of identity. Always distinction. Always a breed of life. To elaborate is no avail. Learned and unlearned feel that it is so. But sure as the most certain sure, plumb in the uprights, well entreated, braced in the beams, stout as a horse, affectionate, haughty, electrical, I and this mystery, here we stand. I believe in you, my soul. Clear and sweet, I believe in you, my soul. The other I am must not abase itself to you, and you must not be abased to the other. Loaf with me on the grass, loose the stop from your throat. Not words or music or rhyme I want, not custom or lecture, not even the best. Only the lull I like, the hum of your valved voice. I mind how we lay in June, such a transparent summer morning. You lay your head athwart my hips and gently turn over upon me, and part the shirt from my bosom bone and plunge your tongue to my bare, stripped heart, and reach till you felt my beard, and reach till you held my feet, and swiftly arose and spread around me the peace and joy and knowledge that pass all art and argument of the earth. And I know that the hand of God is the elder hand of my own, and that the Spirit of God is the eldest brother of my own. And that all men ever born are my brothers, and the women my sisters and lovers, and that a kelson of the creation is love. And limitless are the leaves, stiff or drooping in the fields, and the brown ants and the little wells beneath them, and the mossy scab of the warm fence, and heaped stones, and elder, and mullein, and pokeweed. That was a few excerpts of Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. My name is Cody Jensen. Thank you for listening. Bing! That would have been the full thing. Also, my eyes are burning. I got like oil or sweat. I had to power through that. Excuse me for a moment. So I would have loved, I think even the first part where I and this mystery, and behind me is the cross and the communal elements in a mosaic. And so just with the visual, I love the words and where it ends up in the second part that makes it the 6 minutes. Would have loved to have given that in that space, but just even that first part, and I and this mystery behind me, this cross, this bread, this wine, this space, I and this mystery. Here we stand. I think that would have been a really strong ending. But like I said, I think the people who performed needed it, and I would just have loved to express it in that moment. So yeah, all good there. I didn't feel emotionally disappointed. Just and grateful to give the space. Not that it was my space to give, but just not take any space from anybody else. So yeah, that was that. Left the Equinox Parlor event and went to Pony Coffee and journaled for a little bit, and then talked. Just Monica and I chatted for a while, and then we went to late lunch, early dinner at Maple Ridge Grocer. And Maple Ridge Grocer shares their kitchen with Bishop Quigley, so you can order Bishop Quigley food or Maple Ridge Grocer food. And so I got Bishop Quigley fish and chips, which was delicious. Mostly, I love tartar sauce, and tartar sauce tastes so good with fried fish. So was able to enjoy that. We chatted there, and told her some stories, and then we came back to my apartment, just kind of chilled for a little bit, and then she left and went to do the rest of her day, and then I sat down to record this. I think tomorrow is Sunday, so I have to wake up early and do my work at church, and then I'll probably go to Mercury Lounge for Bluegrass Brunch. That's all I have planned for that. The rest of tonight, I'm going to, right after this, I'm going to take a shower, because obviously I need to. I'm like, got sweat rolling to my eyes. It's just been just a long day. And then just gonna chill on the couch. Yeah. Was trying to. Yeah, there was something big that happened last night, like drama, and I'm just acknowledging that the drama happened, and I don't need to get into the details, nor do I have time to get into the details, but it just feels disingenuous to not put into the video journal that there was some drama in my friend group, and I was a friend to everybody who needed to be a friend, and I took the brunt of I took part of the brunt of some of an outburst, and just allowed it to bounce off, and forgive them, love them, and continue to love them, and be the friend that I need to be for everybody involved. And yeah, I feel good about that, and the opportunity to be a friend, and be there in the hard times. It's when true friendship is seen and tested, is when somebody is not acting in tune with who we know they are, that we can remind them and forgive them for forgetting. So, yeah, just wanted to note that at the end. See you tomorrow.